Hi, this is George Rice again, looking to offer a laugh line for you as we share in our world today. We're remembering our call for scriptural prescription in Proverbs 17:22, which reminds us that laughter is a good medicine. So I want to tell you about one of the first weddings that I ever had. It was in my first church, of course, and on the evening of the rehearsal, the father of the bride, a good rural man who had not been in many of those social situations, was there, and I realized pretty quickly I needed to be careful to help Joe know exactly what he was supposed to do. So we went through the ritual, the rehearsal, twice. And I said to Joe there were two things that he needed to do. One was, when I asked that question, who gives this woman to be married to this man, he could say, I do, or we do, or her mother and I do, or whatever his family decided would be the best thing to say. And then I said to Joe, now, when you do that, I'll reach out and you give me Kathy's hand, and I'll give her hand to Wise, and then you go be seated with your wife. Now remember, we went through it twice, and he said he had everything down. Here's what happened the day of the wedding. Everything was fine until I got to the point where I asked, who gives this woman to be married to this man? And I looked at Joe, and he said, her mother and I, and we do. I stifled that chuckle because I realized he'd put all three of those together that I had suggested to him. But then I reached out for Kathy's hand. He did not give me Kathy's hand. He reached out and shook my hand, a pump handle kind of handshake, and my hand went limp, and I growled at him, Joe, go sit with Miss Iola, which he did. The amazing thing is hardly anybody knew that had happened. But I did learn something in that process, that you really need to look at every detail when you work on a wedding or any worship service, and then be able to laugh at yourself when something goes wrong. By the way, I recently saw that couple who've now been married 40-something years, and we remembered that day when love and laughter were wed at their marriage. Again, I encourage you, be sure and take your medicine today.